Welcome, everybody. That's my best smooth order intro for NWAP Season 4, episode. What is it, guys? What episode is this? I don't even remember. Somebody play me and say 20. 20. Right, episode 20. Nah, psych, just playing. This is Lextopia, and today we are down one member, smooth orator. Couldn't be here, but we do have with us
Tunde, Talk 7.
It's Negroid Android. What's up?
Negroid Android, what's up? So today we're just going to go ahead and run down some current events. We know we haven't been out for a couple weeks. People getting real busy over here trying to secure this bag. Actually, I can't speak for everybody, but I think everybody kind of has been on their hustle lately.
Secure the bag.
Secure the bag by any means necessary. But we're back this week. And yeah, we're just going to go through kind of a hodgepodge of topics. Starting off with one of the weeks that a lot of college students look spring. Actually, didn't have social because clearly all I'm seeing all over the timeline right now is this girl's ass being smacked by not her boyfriend and the drama that ensued. So have y'all both seen the video?
Yeah,
I saw the video.
And the funny thing is, it wasn't even that crazy, right? Like, I've seen worse videos of things people doing on the beach and stuff, but it's just mad funny because she was definitely one of those, me and my man gonna be tight, doing all those types of tweets on her timeline. And now everybody's like, damn, that's your girl, that's your girl, that's your girl. So, like, first of all, as guys, like, how do y'all feel about your girl going to Miami for spring break? And, like, how would you react to that?
Me right now, as in my 30s.
Speak yourself back in time, because I know you're 38.
Yeah, go back.
Go back. Like 20 years.
Back then, I wouldn't have cared if I'm like in college.
Pod 7.
And my girl wants to go to spring break. Like,
okay,
why not?
And now that video comes out, and
we're done.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a
girl
wrap.
got 20,000 retweets.
Because not only did you cheat, you had the audacity to get filmed.
Cheated? What? She cheated?
You said what?
She got her ass smacked.
She cheated or she was having a good time?
She didn't cheat. She just someone else smacked her ass. Another human hand, not her hand.
Wait.
She didn't cheat with the guy. She just got caught.
No, we're not talking about the same video then.
We're not talking about the same video then.
Oh.
No, that's what I was saying. There's worse ones, but this one was the girl in the yellow bathing suit. She was dancing, and the guy smacked her ass and like went to kind of like kiss on her ass. She was shaking it, and she was woo.
Oh, I mean, whatever. Shit
20,000 retweets on that, and everybody know, damn, that's your girl.
Shit happens. Whatever.
No, I'm gonna say
like you're drunk. Shit happens. I don't mind that.
All right. Yes.
My immediate response was when I was talking about this with one of my younger cousins, I immediately said, You see, you call me old, but dog, we was doing way worse than this, and nobody got it on tape.
Mm-hmm. Nobody had it on tape.
Nobody got these fights ain't on tape. None of the stuff I ever have done, is on tape. So I was immediately like, yeah, it sucks to be you. But also,
so now if it had been,
you know what I
mean?
Man, Freaknik happened in 1993 to like 1996. You look at Freaknik, people were having sex in the streets, like literally. So,
and if that was your girl, how would you feel about it?
Look, that is a situation where honestly, I wouldn't even trip because I know how guys are. If I've been to concerts with my girlfriends, my wife, everybody now, every woman that I've been with, when you go to a place like that, not necessarily guys are gonna try it, right? When they see you, they're gonna chill. But when you go to the bathroom or you go to buy drinks, dudes is like chicken hawks. They
vultures
swooping. Yeah, so it's gonna happen. I'm not saying you'll get your butt smacked. Dudes, I done seen dudes like I'm old. So I was out one time with my younger cousins and them, and like my brother and I went out with them, and this dude he was respectful. He was trying to holler at my cousin. But me being 30 something and her being like 20 something, I'm looking at you, nigga, the fuck you rolled up on my cousin for? But he was being nice. But you don't know.
But here's the thing, Negro Android.
This is person I used to watch run around in the house.
In this case, we're talking about this is your girl and she's dancing on the beach with a thong bathing suit on and bending over and continuing to shake her ass while he's doing it. So what I'm saying, would you feel some kind of way? Not necessarily about the guy, but like, damn, like she really just out here.
Yeah, everyone's out there.
That's all I need to know.
That's the point.
That's a good answer. Right. That's the answer. That's the answer. Then you would be a very understanding boyfriend. So that's great. The last thing about that I want to say that I think is important to mention that I can't stand is things like this happening. Like this is just two regular college students, right? Mm-hmm. But then what's that BSO shit, boss up type shit? The fact that these stories, just because they got a lot of retweets, become these like articles is something that, and I just wanted to mention that because that annoys me, that I keep seeing these regular people, you know, it's some kind of like cool story to talk about. Everybody gets hypothetical, whatever. But like, bro, they shouldn't be put in the fucking articles like on these online magazines and everybody else's sites. So I think there should be something against that because they say a lot of college students now are like having issues when their stuff goes viral like that.
Yeah, I don't like BSO because I don't think it's a real. I don't think it's a.
It's stupid news, man.
Yeah, like you basically take all your fucking news from Twitter.
Right. Go ahead, Des.
So I was actually gonna say, because I am from South Florida, y'all keep saying BSO. I'm thinking of Broward Sheriff's Office, and I was like, oh, if this got elevated to BSO, right? So I was like, if this got elevated to BSO, like I don't know, that changes things because now this is a criminal case. I don't want my girl to get caught up in no criminal involvement, case. No. And I don't want no guy that I know, like, damn, man, you got caught on tape. You don't want to. Then it's a different story. But y'all were talking about something else.
We talk about these online, like, call themselves news sources, and all they want to do is talk about Twitter gossip with the regular people, like, not even celebrities. Like, that shit, okay, cool. But it's regular ass people. Huh?
Hey, we're ordinary people. John Legend got a song about it.
You're right. But some other stuff went down in Miami too that's a little bit more serious. Top 7, I'll let you intro that.
Yeah, so this was, I want to say this was on Tuesday at Florida International University. A pedestrian bridge opened, and a couple of days later, the bridge collapsed, killing 6 people. So basically what happened was, it's a very busy street. So a couple of pedestrians got hit by cars. So they decided to build a pedestrian bridge to go over the street so they can get from one side to the other without having to worry about traffic. So the bridge collapsed, killed 6 people. As we all know, that the infrastructure in America is not the greatest, but this is a brand new bridge. It shouldn't be collapsing. So I'm reading this article on the Times. Basically, on last week, there was the technical engineer. He left a voicemail at the transportation department saying he observed cracks on the foundation at the north end of the bridge. And so hours before the actual collapse, there was a meeting with the construction manager and representatives from the university and the Florida Department of Transportation to discuss the cracks. And they concluded that, quote, there were no safety concerns and the crack did not compromise the structural integrity of the bridge.
Ooh.
And then hours later, it collapses.
Oh, man. So, hours later after that?
Yeah, it collapsed. So, yeah, that's what happened. That's crazy. Like,
I didn't know it was a pedestrian bridge.
Yeah, so it goes over
a highway.
Yeah,
it fell on top of cars.
So,
people too, and people on the bridge. I mean,
shit, that's like one of those things that you gotta fear, like walking across the bridge and this shit just fall apart.
Oh yeah.
What were these cracks about though? Like they had to have been huge already then for that to even be something somebody saw.
Yeah, and they actually rushed the opening of the bridge. I don't think the bridge was open until later this year.
Oh my God.
So
I wonder what really like goes into all that to say it's safe and why they would go ahead and just put it out there. Like it's construction. Construction is always out there all the time.
The crazy thing is that there's a pedestrian bridge here in Portland. Well, not just pedestrian, it's pedestrian biking, and they have like the streetcars to go over it. So there's no car traffic, and it goes over the river, like one of the big rivers in Portland. And I run across it all the time. And I always think, this is a new bridge. What if it collapsed while I was running across?
Don't think that while you running across a bridge, getting high off running. it's gonna ruin it for you.
Well, I was thinking that before this happened. Of course, I'm gonna think about it now. But it's crazy that in America, like, we don't put the money behind our infrastructure. Like, bridges are fucked up, roads are fucked up, like our transportation system is fucked up, and in Florida, they want to put all these millions of dollars towards training teachers for guns, to carry guns in the classroom.
Oh God!
But that money could be diverted towards or funneled towards, like shoring up our infrastructure, or at least that state's infrastructure. Go ahead.
Listen.
So I want to say yes. My natural inclination is to like defend Florida. And I'll say that, what we're looking at is an expansion issue. And it's not just happening in Florida. I was, like you said, infrastructure all over the country is terrible. But like FIU is not, you're thinking like, oh man, I don't know. FIU is kind of a small school. Nah, all Florida schools that have football teams are big now. FIU is getting there. FAU just hired Lane Kiffin as their coach. Like UCF had a player that had one hand that bench pressed 20 reps in the NFL combine and ran like a fastest time for a linebacker. Like, all of Florida is big, so all of the new expansion, I would say, is kind of shitty. I think the thing that's even more wild, is that all the people who were in that meeting, the people from the Department of Transportation, the people from the construction company, everyone who was there and signed their name, like, okay, yes, we agree, or we hereby certify that this bridge is safe, all the people get sued. All the people going to jail, or if somebody goes to jail,
Definitely getting sued.
Yeah, they definitely get sued though. Like all those people, they get in the axe. The only person that's safe is the guy who was the civil engineer who called it in and was like, "Hey, there's cracks here." He's the only nigga that's safe because he's like, "Hey, I told my superiors.
I told you niggas. I told you niggas.
Oh damn!
I told you niggas." Yeah, he's the only one safe right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that nigga a raise.
But later on in the article, it talks about like there were like 5 or 6 cars underneath the rubble. They were flattened beyond recognition, and so they didn't even want to like take the people out in front of everyone. They like basically used a crane to pick up the cars, covered it with a black tarp, and then took it to wherever they took it to like identify the people inside.
Think about being the family member that has to come identify that body.
Yep.
That shit's crazy.
So it must have been a super busy street then for like it to have been that many cars.
It was 8 lanes.
Yeah, it's 8 lanes.
8 lanes?
Yeah.
Wait, so what is this connecting? Why is the college even going over an 8-lane like highway?
No. That's plenty. There are schools right on the edge of highways everywhere. You just don't.
But they would put a bridge over the highway like that?
I don't think it's a highway. It's saying it's an 8-lane street.
8 lanes is big as shit. Wow.
I'm looking at the street. It's not a highway because I'm looking at there's definitely a crosswalk in there.
That could have been 441 State Road 7. I mean, that shit is about 4 lanes from everywhere. So,
damn, that's sad. But we also, outside of that sad news, got the jokes that's going on. Your boy DJ Envy, Negro Android.
So DJ Envy of the
go ahead.
DJ Envy of the Breakfast Club confronted Desus and Mero, host of the Viceland Desus and Mero podcast. It was interesting. He said that they owed his wife an apology. And then when you listen to some of the later stuff in the interview, you can see Desus was there and he was like, I don't even know what he's talking about. And Mero was like, okay. And they were both saying, play the clip. They both insisted he played the clip. So he played the clip and, it was insinuated. Desus said, I think she liked those DJ Envy checks though, because DJ Envy had stated that his wife knew Rashawn and didn't know DJ Envy. They're 2 separate entities. And so Desus said that, and then that's what triggered DJ Envy to ask for an apology. The issue with this is Desus and Mero have, I guess they said it out loud. They were like, shout out to media training, because they've been media trained. DJ Envy
smart.
Issued the challenge. He called him dickhead and pussy, which normally in New York are things that'll get you. That's you already.
Wait, he said that on the radio
on the
show,
Breakfast Club.
or that was on the tape?
On the Breakfast Club, like.
So he was like for real mad.
Off break,
he
like
introed them as dickhead and pussy. Which I've worked with some young people in New York. You call somebody pussy, that's a challenge. It may not necessarily lead immediately to physical violence, but it will get you pretty close. And so once they asked for that, like they said immediately, actually, like they doubted it first, and Desus said, "Hey, if that made you feel a kind of way, I'm sorry. I apologize." And he said, if what I said, and he gave a couple examples, said, "I apologize. I take responsibility." And then DJ Envy went to Mero, and Mero was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. I have kids." And so DJ Envy was then, they continue with the interview for the next few minutes. DJ Envy gets up, walks out, and they state that they felt blindsided in ambush coming to the Breakfast Club, but they continue to have a great episode.
Which is what makes it kind of funny, because everybody was like, damn, DJ Envy was mad, and the other two was still in there cracking jokes and shit and talking.
Yep.
But I didn't realize that they had both apologized. So, like, what is
this? So they apologized.
So what I found funny was, DJ Envy, he cheated on his wife, right? With Erica Mena, right? Which is some chick.
She's Bow Wow's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
she's
Bow Wow's ex-girlfriend.
Girl. She's also in that Thanksgiving episode of Master of None.
So I was about to say, why people's episodes?
So he cheated on her, and then Envy and his wife went on to. I'm sorry, I keep saying his wife, but I don't know her name. They went on to The View, or one of those shows that come on like Fox, or I don't know. I don't watch the show, but they went on there, and Envy had on like a satin blazer or suit jacket,
but it was white.
Yeah, it was white. With black trim. But he went on there,
like a sexy waiter.
Yeah, so that's why Desus and Mero they insinuated that his wife was there for the check, because she stayed. He cheated like publicly. They went on like a fucking TV show to talk about it. So I feel like if you go on a TV show to talk about your infidelities and all that, you open yourself up to jokes.
And it's a comedy. They do comedy.
And on top of that,
ain't nobody above these jokes.
And on top of that, Envy talks shit about everybody. So, I mean, I can kind of see why he's mad, because they didn't joke on Envy. They did joke on Envy, but then they brought his wife into it. But his wife was on the show too, though. So
he cheated on his wife. So it's like
already.
But they went on the show together. It wasn't like he went on the show by himself. True. They were on the show together. So she might be a little bit fair game too. And it wasn't like what he said. What they said was that
he got that mad about it. Because like everybody's joking on it. Everybody joked on everything. Like, why was that something that had you that pissed off? And even if it did, I mean, I'm not mad at him walking out. Like, if he's mad, he's mad. But
to me, it seems like he wasn't that mad, but his wife that's mad, and she kind of forced him to go on air and air their agreements.
So hold on, I want to say that it was probably he's already in hot water. You're already on thin ice. Yep. All right, baby, I made this mistake. You've taken me back. I'm on my best behavior. Why you letting niggas clown me? Well, baby, I didn't know they were going to say that, but in a couple weeks, I'll have them up there. I'll ask for an apology on there.
You think that's the kind of combos they have?
I think so.
That sounds like something that you would do.
You had me up on national TV talking about you cheated on me.
I think you gotta genuinely actually have been mad to have done all that, because he looked stupid. And then to get on Twitter later talking about say it to my face, like,
so
left.
And then that celebrity boxing match they set up.
That's when you set yourself up to get even more jokes.
I don't think Envy got head. I'm sorry.
No, that doesn't even matter. He's not funny. That's why they went on his show and killed it. And then they killed him on the episode later.
On this show? Yeah.
He picked a bad fight. Now, what he probably thought was, I got the moral high ground. Like what you did, you can joke. He said, you can joke on me, don't bring my wife and kids into it. Okay, so you have the moral high ground. The problem was he got the apology, and then he was still mad. And it's
which is fine, but then don't keep talking.
Right, because you call those people, you picking on them, and they like, all right, nigga, we gonna get you back, and they're better at it.
And then I'm so glad they have their media training.
They had Charlamagne in there joking too.
Right. Because that's how
you don't give a fuck.
That's how you're supposed to do. It's fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
It's only entertainment now. But what's not entertainment is most people's busted up brackets. Mine actually aren't that bad. Do y'all do brackets or no?
I did too, for money.
Both of them for money?
Yeah.
What you looking like?
Yeah,
both of them are trash because I had UVA in my Final Four in both brackets. So,
all right, we'll talk about the upsets that have happened then.
Okay, so first I had in my Sweet 16 both brackets. I had Arizona trash. They lost to Buffalo, like
the Buffalo Bulls,
like Arizona. Fucking the Pac-12.
Even my Buffalo fans were like, "Yo, now y'all want to start winning?" Because even they didn't like have them up.
The fucking Pac-12 is trash. They only had 3 teams in. 2 of them lost one lost in a play-in game. 2 lost in the first round. So they have no more teams left in the Pac-12. Who else lost? Oh, UVA. Like
that's what
I think a $20 bet got you like $5,000 or something like that.
Ooh.
And just before the game, I was like, I thought to myself, I put it in my other group me. I said, what if UMBC actually wins?
Nah, no, you didn't.
I promise. I said that, but
I'm about to say, don't lie to these listeners.
Yes. People, when you told me UMBC, I was like, University of Maryland, Baltimore College. He was like, yeah,
the Retrievers.
What?
And look, and listen, their Twitter handle, UMBC Athletics, they were so sassy, yo, last night.
Oh,
they was coming back at everybody like somebody UMBC played College Park last like in December, and a fan for College Park had a sign that said UMBC stands for University of Maryland Backup College. And so somebody's like, so they retweeted that picture and said, you know, do you still feel the same way watching from home or some shit like that? I'm like, who the fuck runs this account? But
yeah, you gotta look everybody up at that point. You gotta look them up.
Because young people gonna be like, yo, who the fuck is UMBC? That shit was funny. And then they go try to get out there. If these niggas eat Tide Pods, they'll make a college decision off of a tweet.
But I have a bunch of friends that went to UMBC, and a lot of people don't know it's like honors college, and they graduate the top number of Black MD PhDs in the country. So all my friends are like, get you a college that can do both. Like, get the fuck out of here. Y'all won 1 game. It's okay. Y'all gonna lose the next one.
Don't get too hype. Oh god. Negro Android, you watch the games too?
Yeah, I watched some of them. I didn't really bet on them, man.
It's whatever. You didn't fill out a bracket?
Huh?
You didn't fill out any brackets at all?
Last year I lost money in a way that made me unhappy.
That's real.
And so I was like, I'm not doing brackets this year.
Be more responsible this year. New year, new you. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when I looked at it, I was just also I didn't think UVA was that good of a team because when they were playing UNC, it was just like, damn, y'all can't get a defensive stop. But then to see them lose UMBC, like I was like, dog, UMBC. One, I was like, it had way more white people than I would expect to come from that population. Like, you recruiting from Maryland. If you're recruiting basketball from Maryland, your good players are coming from like Silver Spring, Baltimore. That's it. DeMatha High School.
Yeah, the one Black player they had, I forgot his name, number 33.
Yeah, he went to DeMatha.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said before we started the show, the difference between UMBC, Baltimore County, and Coppin State.
Yeah. Well, Coppin State got
all niggas. Morgan State got all niggas. UMBC might be 50-50. Like they have a lacrosse team, so you know.
So they say, "Oh, niggas."
Morgan State is not no game for real, for real.
Miriam
It's like
Milano
really just Baltimore.
for Miles.
Yeah. Negro Android, also, since you're conspiracy Des, although this isn't conspiracy, we all know why certain news gets covered and certain news doesn't. But in this case, we had a few bombs go off and we had a few victims in Austin, Texas. And I feel like I've seen a few tweets about it, but not much information. Give us the background on that.
So there were two, forgive me for not knowing their names, there were two people that were connected via the African-American activism community in Austin, and also another black person. They were all bombed, and the fact that they were connected to each other has now led the police to believe that, you know, this may be, they're not calling it, I mean, I believe that it's terrorism. No one is calling it terrorism. The proper term for it is white extremist terrorism. Everything from Dylan Roof to old boy who just shot up Parkland. These are white terrorists, and no one's saying it. And I think the thing that's been getting on people's nerves is that Twitter, if you're in Black Twitter, you're seeing this. You're aware of this news. Mainstream media, I haven't seen much about it. I saw something about it on CNN. I honestly don't watch Fox News, so I can't say that it was there. But yeah.
Go ahead, Todd. Seven.
I just want to jump in. I said the names are Stephen House, the victims, who was killed on March 2nd, and Draylon Mason, who was killed Monday, I guess following March 2nd, have known each other for a long time and go to the same church. The Austin NAACP president said that the third bomb, which injured 75-year-old Esperanza Herrera, may have been intended for another person who might be connected to the House and Mason families.
And so
one thing that I saw too was that somebody said at first they were trying to say the guy made the bomb himself, like it was an accident, like he was making the bomb and it happened to him, and everybody was like, "What?" Like immediately, the first thing I would think is a hate crime. They said that's what they were trying to go off of at first. You know, like why would this happen? And of course, every Black person is like, "Nah, somebody sent that bomb or whatever." And another one I saw from another source, and I apologize for not knowing what those sources are, but they said something about one of the guys, like his mom or grandma was about to open it, and he's the one who like pushed her out the way because he felt like something wasn't right. So I don't know who these people are living with, or like if it's their family, it's just the guy or what. But I think things like this should definitely, if there's obvious connection now, these things should definitely be more publicized. It's almost like it's not as cool anymore, because for a while, anytime a Black person was shot or killed by the police, like now we were starting to see more of it. And everybody's getting more aware of it. And I feel like lately, because there was another young woman who was just recently killed by police as well, but I haven't seen that as big. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it's getting less cool to talk about. It's like, oh, they're over the outrage now or something. Go ahead, Negro Android.
So I actually think it's not getting less cool. Is that, you know how like people say stay woke, right? Which implies that this is conspiracy day. So I'm gonna just give y'all that. All right, this is high level conspiracy day.
High level.
Listen, so the people that actually, this is my theory, right? People say stay woke, which means that you're to sleep, right? So when people wake up, they're woke up by something. Something is a jolt. News media was getting the clicks, but they kept seeing that showing Black people was like shocking other folks' consciousness, and people were becoming more and more aware to it. The fact that all these people are asking for, all these people are saying is that.
Sorry, my computer froze. I don't know if it froze in the audio, but can you go back to where you said, "Here's the thing," when basically the beginning of your sentence?
Okay.
I have to cut that part out.
All right. All right. So basically, when you tell them to stay woke, like they keep getting jolts to the brain, because these things, people saying Black Lives Matter was jolting them out of their reality. And basically, what ends up happening, people started getting woke. News media had to stop showing that. They had to stop depicting Black lives as mattering, because the more that you did that, the more people were engaged, and the more that people started to say, like, wait a minute, this is a problem. So it's not that it's happened at a smaller amount. It's just that the media is not being rewarded for showing it with clicks and views. And so they just stopped covering it. Black suffering is still continued.
Well, I think that's kind of what I'm saying though, is that all the outrage that it was causing at first, I think, you know, they're getting a lot of clicks, people really trying to discover, but yes, it's still happening, but they're not talking about it as much anymore. And I don't know if it's just because people, I don't want to say they're over it, but like now it's become so common where it's like, damn, like another one.
Because that's the thing. Clicks drive content.
Right.
They know what was clicking on it because it's like cop shot 15-year-old and everybody's like, yeah, seems about right. It doesn't bother to click on it. So the news then and the feedback loop kind of stops reporting on it because we're not getting clicks from this. So that's what that is. Sucks. It's not that it stopped happening.
What can we do to make sure that we keep these types of things in the forefront? I think it's almost low-key on social media to continue to have the same energy as we did about, you know, all the other things that's coming back to back and people who are getting killed or who are out here. Huh?
That leads to exhaustion too, don't it? People just be like,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, why do we have to do this? But at the same time, I guess we have our conversations. And even if, you know, we say, hey, you know, this is something that happened, I guess there's still more people who may see it than if they only watch the news or whatever else. So I don't know. I think it's unfortunate, but I hope they figure out who did it. I think I saw something too in the news where they said, see, this is the thing. I don't even remember which tragedy it was, but they said they had just passed something that said that the white people would not get tried as terrorists or something. And I was like, well,
that's Tennessee.
I don't remember which case was that.
There was no, it wasn't Tennessee. Excuse me. I think maybe they're from Tennessee, but they're the Charlottesville thing.
Charlottesville, yeah.
They're not going to be charged as anti-white terrorists when in actuality they have a political agenda. People are dying. Now they're terrorists.
Right. Another day, regular stuff. Also in the news, we saw this week all the kids that are taking a stand. So that's kind of, I don't know, kind of makes me feel good to see like kids are way more woke these days than, I mean, I can only speak for myself. Like, I feel like
they're way more connected. We would have did it better.
Too. I think I'm here to say we would have did it better or worse, but because they have these tools, they do see more and they know more of what's going on than we did, like even in college and in high school. Like they know more about what's going on in the world. Huh?
We about that action, and we didn't live under a surveillance state, which I guess they kind of go hand in hand, like the way kids are getting.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have known anything. We wouldn't have known as much stuff going on.
Right.
Okay, so the walkouts happened this past Wednesday. So it's nationwide, local time, 10 a.m. Some schools didn't allow students to walk out, which I think is bullshit. I saw some signs of people's like stories saying instead of walking out, walk up to a friend and give them a hug. Instead of walking out, walk up to that person who feels outcast, because they're trying to make it seem like these school shootings are a result of, which I think is of bullying and not access to assault rifles. Yeah, I saw that. So our school allowed students. We allowed students to walk out, but it wouldn't matter anyway because on Wednesdays we start at 10:30, so it was after the local time of 10. But yeah, they're woke, but I just don't like how these kids are treated in the media versus how
I don't either. I've noticed that
how we were treated. Like when, for instance, in Baltimore, right? You had the kids who were protesting after the cops who killed Freddie Gay.
Great.
Like you saw how they were treated, right? Like they were treated as criminals. Versus
all the way back to Ferguson too.
Yeah,
all those thugs.
And then in the same city with Baltimore, the kids, like it was, I forget what school it was, some affluent school in Baltimore with mostly white kids. They got a fucking police escort, which kind of pissed me off. Like, it's only protesting when like, or rioting when we do it, but when like you have like, because the face of this protest or these walkouts, the face of it is white students. Like they're doing 60.
they got like brought to speak in front of senators and speak in
Yeah,
front of government. They got the mics in front of them.
exactly.
They got the protection, all of that. Like they invite them to
literally
come
got
speak.
gassed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Imagine
we've got fought.
imagine if in Ferguson the kids who protested got a chance to have a sit down with the governor. What changes could happen, but that'll never happen because we're people of color, and like anything we do is seen as criminal.
So that being said, though, I think what I had said about this before, like on Twitter or something, was like, dang, I hope when they finish getting all their gun laws passed, like they move on to make sure they take care of us and like go on to do police brutality and attack all those other things too, because apparently they didn't care about it when we said it, right? So is it one of those things where we just have to accept that because of the power that be in this country, the white people have to be the ones to like actually bring the attention on shit for there to be any change? Or does that still just mean even if there's changes, we're still like this lower level because we never are getting heard in the first place, Go ahead, Negro, Andrew.
So I think, and this is a hard line to draw, but when people have a problem with the term, or people just say, if they're iffy, if they're 100% iffy, any 0% iffy about the term Black Lives Matter, we got a problem. Like communication wise, because I'm only asserting that my life and the life of people who look like me matters. That's a threat to white supremacy, and whether we believe it or not, a lot of these operations, governments, and counties and cities support white supremacy. That's why they don't want our black kids going to their white schools. That's why they do everything in their power to keep us separate.
So answer this then. So if they're not listening to you say Black Lives Matter, are you okay with these white kids who can say Black Lives Matter? Because I've seen some of them, they hashtag that or they say that as well. Or they say, recognize us as dealing with issues that we deal with as this country. Are you mad at them for being heard when they say Black Lives Matter?
I'm not mad at them.
Is it better that we move forward, or is it still suck because they're not listening to us?
I'm not mad. Like, if they put it up and they're not like being disingenuous or like mocking or just blatantly stealing, if they're actually paying homage to like black people who did it before, I'm not mad, but it's an old tactic. Martin Luther King used shining the light to look at what these white people are doing to us and shame them in the eyes of the rest of the world. The rest of the world has decided they hate niggas too, just as much, even though they decided it first and colonized everything. They are on board with this right-wing-led American agenda to oppress black people. So everybody's just like, yeah, we don't care. So you have to have some white people that get out there and say that, but it's a tactic for an old playbook. Shame doesn't work anymore.
Top 7, what do you think? As you go smoothie.
I get mad sometimes because why should it take a white person to tell you that our lives matter? Like, for instance, you have like white academics who like Timothy Wise, right? Timothy Wise can say, being white is bad, and the way we treat people of color in this country is terrible, and we need to stop killing them and whatever. And white people are like, oh my God, I never looked at it that way. But let a black person say that, and white people are quick to call out reverse racism. Or yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say, this is going to sound crazy. Don't take it as crazy. White people live in a different world, right? And I say that because
that's not crazy.
The world that you experience is the world that reacts to you. The way that the world reacts to whiteness is very different from the way that the world reacts to blackness. So when we describe our shit to them, they be like, nigga, you lying. They don't take it as serious. So when you tell them, hey, Black Lives Matter, nigga, you lying. They don't believe you. They don't understand. They can't make that connection. When another white person who's had the world,
they don't understand why you have to say that.
Right. When a white person says, this is why it's different, this is why you have to make these connections, this is why it matters, then because they're just more open to it psychologically, they're like, oh, if you understand and are validating their experience, so can I. This nigga just telling it to me. That don't mean that.
which is still them not listening or them not trying to empathize or trying to hear like what's going on. So
you don't want to hear my real feelings on white people.
I mean, yeah, they don't. Yeah, I don't think anybody's ready to hear any of that. I don't know. I think it sucks that they get that, but also what I don't like is I've seen also now a lot of media like personnel who are attacking kids and being like, man, y'all gonna listen to these kids, or these kids are too emotional right now to be talking about, you know, this. They just saw their friends die, and it's like, yeah, that's why they care about it. Or I've seen some who I've seen these kids starting to get the brunt end of it too, where they're like, man, these kids just trying to get famous, and you know, the ones who are talking about like, wow, I'm gonna be on Ellen tomorrow, and I get to do this next week. And it's like, oh, you know, they're starting to get that backlash too, where it's like, man, you don't really care about it. You're just here for this and that. And that sucks because it comes with, quote, the fame, I guess, of becoming an activist or whatever else you want to call it. But yeah, they're going through a lot. So hopefully at least it pushes shit in a better direction. I saw a lot of entertainers that were like, we stand with the kids walking out today. So it seems like there's such a big voice behind activism in this country. And people who just, maybe just because they just hate the president so much, I don't care why, but I feel like I'm not sure if it's really causing change or leading to change, because it seems like within the government and people who are making these decisions, signing things, they're still just doing whatever the fuck they want to do.
Absolutely.
So
they just
it's like we're having these conversations, but next time elections come around, even whether they're local, your state, whatever, like, are you actually going to take all that outrage and still do something? Hopefully they will, but it's just mad weird to me. It's just like a lot of talking, but you turn on TV and they're still doing the same shit in the White House. So,
wow.
Anything anybody else want to say?
I want to say Tucker Carlson said this past week that kids weren't citizens. He was like, they don't pay taxes, they don't have a right to vote, and I was like, dog, what? When I heard that, I was like, they're just
like they really just say anything. It's like they just say anything. Like these kids are smart. Like they kind of actually know what they're talking about with some of this stuff.
They
like
do, but it's just that
right. Like it's just like these people have just lost common sense. Where it's like, bro, nobody needs to shoot off 600 bullets in a minute. Period. Period. If you need that for hunting, you're not a fucking hunter. Like, bro, period. It doesn't make sense. And ain't nobody trying to take your shit away. They just want shit to be more responsible.
Listen, don't let me get started on my views on guns, because if it were up to me, there would be no guns.
No, I'm not anti-gun.
I said my views. If it were up to me, there would be no fucking guns. Period. No one would have guns, because people think that, oh, I need my gun to protect my home. If the government wanted to come take your shit, they would take your shit, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't care if you had 20 ARs. There's nothing you'll do about it. What are you gonna do when a drone comes over your house? Nothing. So, fuck that. If it was up to me, there would be no guns. But people love their guns. It's America, and America equals guns. So, I guess.
And what's even scarier, sometimes you see those kids who are with the Make America Great hats, and they're like pro gun, pro God, pro. What do they say? And it's just like, ew, y'all little kids don't even know what the fuck y'all are talking about. Y'all haven't seen shit in this country. Y'all don't know anything. Like, you can tell like who just watches news and who's actually like lived in the world and experienced anything. But yeah, more so I'm glad that the kids who like have common decency about people's lives are at least the ones in front of some mics saying the right things. I don't care if they really believe it or don't, whatever the fuck, but they're saying they were having the conversations. Hopefully it goes the right way.
I hope they start a movement with like young people and get some of these politicians out of office.
Right. And then even if they're the ones who have to start it, well, not start it, but be the first ones to get the real positive attention. If they bring in some black folks, which should be very smart of them to do, to now, even if that has to give us a step, then fuck it, we need to just take it and do what we need to do to get all this shit fixed up around here. Before we go, though, just wanted to remind everybody that you can give us 5 stars and leave a review on iTunes, or you can give us $5 on Cash App at NWAPcast. And we actually have had quite a few people who have gave us some money, which we appreciate because we need it for these website and these mics and all this other stuff that we're using to keep the show going. So I'm just going to shout out a couple of them. One said, no name, please, but we appreciate you because she sent us $5 and said that y'all are appreciated. James sent us $5 for Black Excellence. Destiny McGee sent us $4. which is funny, but whatever. I'll still take it. After 5, they give you 4. It's cool. What every little bit counts. I'm not mad at it. Taylor Nation sent us $5, and Adrian sent us $10. Oh, God bless you. And then Brandon sent us $6.83. We appreciate that. So for everybody who donated, we appreciate it. Keep it coming. We hope you enjoyed episode 20 of season 4. That being said, peace.
Peace.
Peace.